Alright, so it is April 4th, about 7:15, and I am going to make a garden video for y'all, since apparently you're bored and you're watching my old ones. So I've got these potatoes right here, and they were ones that were just in my cabinet that had sprouted, so I put them in the ground and see what happened, and I think I probably put them too close together. But I really didn't figure they would come up, but they sure did. So that's all I've got in the ground right now, but I've got a bag of potatoes I'm gonna bring out here, make a big long row of them. Here I have some carrots that I'm hoping will come up. Never really planted carrots before. And I put some of these old pine branches and some of this old stuff from last year's garden down as mulch to kind of keep the weeds from coming up. But I think it's working pretty good. And these are radishes that I've got growing. They're doing really good actually. They grow real fast. This over here is peppermint that I put in last year, spearmint I believe, and it's supposed to be real good for cabbage. Supposed to keep the cabbage moths, so keep them away, so I'm hoping that works this year. But I've got little Brussels sprouts planted all kind of in through there. They're still little, so that's Brussels sprout, and they look a lot like cabbage. And then these are cabbages. That's a little peppermint plant I put in there. So all that is cabbage. It's coming up pretty good. This right here is just blank space that I've tillered up, and I can bring some stuff out here and some squash and stuff like that. Over here I've actually got tomatoes and peppers going, believe it or not. Yeah, we've had really warm weather. It's about 70s. So I'm hoping my tomatoes won't die, so we'll see. I've got landscaping fabric down to keep the weeds out, and also to keep the soil warmed up. So when the sun comes down here, it keeps the soil, gets real warm. So I've got 4 different varieties of tomatoes. I've even got a striped one right here, Mr. Stripey is what they call it. And then I trellised them this year because those cages were too hard to get in and out of, so I just made a long trellis, and as they grow I'm going to tie them up to that. And I ought to be able to just like reach right here and pick a tomato when I want it. I've got peas growing all through here, and they're real little, poking out, but there's one, and they're all kind of spaced out. And what's really cool is I put these in the ground just as seeds, you know. Well, these over here I grew in my little toilet paper tubes, and you can see how much taller those are. I mean, that's a good 6 inches, probably 7 inches tall, and they're only about a week older than these little ones here that were put in the ground. That's a little one that was put in the ground, and then this one is a one that I grew indoors early. So I think that might be a good way to go about it, and I wanted to show you how I do it. So I left one out here, and I've got it in its little tube, and dig a hole, and I put this organic fertilizer here, just a little bit of it down in the hole, and then you pull the bottom off of this tube, stick it down in there, and cover it up with dirt, and they do pretty good. Those tubes will disintegrate, so it ought to be a pretty good way to do all these little seedlings. And then I have these peppers planting. Right here is a garden salsa pepper, and I just put these in the ground so they look a little wilty, but I think they'll perk up tomorrow. That is the hot banana pepper. And this is called, I think, a Big Bertha. Yeah, that's a Big Bertha bell pepper. So those ought to get pretty big, and you can kind of stuff those or however you want to do it. And then this is a gypsy pepper, and those are just little sweet peppers. So I've got those going. This is it so far. Got a pretty good start, but I want to get all that tillered up. So it'll be slow progress, but I just do a piece at a time. Anyway, I will make another one in a week or so. Bye.